It started as a dare, one of those stupid challenges that seem fun at first, but quickly spiral out of control. A group of friends and I had always been fascinated by abandoned places, and when we heard about the old mental asylum on the outskirts of town, we couldn't resist. It had been shut down years ago after a series of unsettling incidents: strange disappearances, rumors of experiments, and whispers about the patients who were never allowed to leave. But it wasn't just the tales that piqued our curiosity. It was the idea of seeing it for ourselves. The place had been left to rot, a crumbling shell of its former self, and we were determined to explore it. We arrived just as the sun was setting, casting long shadows over the crumbling building. The wind howled through broken windows, and the air felt thick, almost oppressive. We parked our car on the side of the road and made our way through the overgrown path leading to the asylum's entrance. The gates were rusty and barely hanging on their hinges, but they creaked open easily enough. It felt like the kind of place you shouldn't be, but we were too excited to care. The inside of the asylum was even more chilling than I'd imagined. The walls were covered in peeling paint, and the smell of dampness and decay was overwhelming. The floors were cracked, and the furniture was shattered. Rusted beds, overturned chairs, and forgotten belongings scattered across the floors. It looked like something out of a horror movie. We split up to explore, each of us taking a different wing of the building. I remember feeling a strange sense of unease the entire time, like we were being watched, but I pushed it aside. I didn't want to be the one to chicken out. I wandered down a long corridor, my flashlight beam bouncing off the walls, and the hall was eerily quiet except for the sound of my footsteps echoing against the cold stone floors. The walls were lined with old doors, some ajar, others sealed shut with rusted chains. As I walked past one of the doors, I caught a glimpse of something inside. Movement, just a flicker in the corner of my eye. I froze. My heart began to race. I told myself it was just my imagination, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something or someone was watching me. I turned back to look down the hallway, but all I saw was darkness. I wanted to call out to my friends, but I felt a strange pull, like I had to keep moving to see what was inside that room. I pushed open the door. Inside, the room was small, its walls covered in scratches and strange markings. The only furniture was an old metal bed frame, rusted and broken, and a cracked mirror on the wall. I stepped inside, my flashlight illuminating the room, but something was off. There was a feeling in the air, like static, and I couldn't explain it. I turned around to leave, but that's when I heard the door slam behind me. My heart nearly stopped. I rushed to the door, but it wouldn't budge. Panic set in. My flashlight flickered and then went out entirely. I fumbled with the batteries, my hands shaking. That's when I heard it. The soft sound of breathing. I froze. Someone was behind me. I spun around, but there was no one there. The room was empty, save for me. My mind raced. Was it one of my friends playing a prank? I called out their names, but my voice sounded hollow, as if the building itself was swallowing my words. I heard nothing in response. Suddenly the air grew colder, and a low growl echoed from the darkness. It was distant at first, but then it got closer, much closer. The door was still stuck, and I was trapped. I could feel the hair on the back of my neck stand up. I wasn't alone. A shadow moved in the corner of the room. It was tall, almost too tall, and it seemed to sway unnaturally. I backed away, my pulse hammering in my chest. The growl turned into a whisper, a voice that wasn't human. Leave. I was paralyzed. My feet wouldn't move. And then, just as quickly as it started, the growling stopped. The shadow in the corner vanished. I heard the door creak open. I rushed out, not bothering to look back, and sprinted down the hallway, my legs feeling like lead. I found my friends near the entrance, their faces pale. They looked at me with wide eyes. Did you hear it too? One of them asked. I could barely speak, my breath coming in ragged gasps. We need to get out of here. Now. We left the asylum in a hurry, not looking back. As we reached the gates, I saw something just for a moment, staring out of one of the broken windows. A face pale and gaunt, eyes wide and unblinking. We never spoke of the asylum again, but I can't shake the feeling that whatever we encountered that night is still there, waiting for the next curious group to wander in. And sometimes, when I close my eyes, I can still hear that whisper, low and chilling. Leave. I don't think we were alone, not really.